Today in Detroit, Cadillac took the covers off of the all-new Cadillac XT6. This is Cadillac's largest three-row crossover, although it does obviously slot in a little bit smaller than Cadillac's Escalade. Up front, you can see that it is designed very much like the Cadillac XT4. We get the latest interpretation of Cadillac's design language with these interesting little chrome nuggets right there in the grille. There's a large Cadillac logo, and then underneath it we have a 360-degree camera system, obviously a radar sensor down below, because all of GM's latest active safety technologies are available on the XT6. Multi-module LED headlamps, you can't see them on, but there are 3 different modules in there, and then we have the distinctive Cadillac daytime running lamps down there below. At 198 inches long or so, this is a little bit longer than the brand new Lincoln Aviator, which is going to be a direct competitor. But as I said, it's a little bit different than the Lincoln because this is a front-wheel drive based vehicle or all-wheel drive, whereas the Lincoln is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This is notably shorter than the Escalade. So if you're looking for a 3-row crossover Cadillac that is going to be a lot easier to park than that big Caddy, this is definitely going to be the option for you. This is right about the same size as some of General Motors' other 3-row crossovers. Out back, you can see that the XT6 looks very much like the newer crossovers in Cadillac's line, and actually a little bit different than the Cadillac Escalade. So if you're looking for something that's not quite as showy as the Escalade, this might be an excellent option. It's also likely going to be less expensive than the Escalade, although we don't know exactly how much it will cost at this time. Under the hood, we find a 310 horsepower, 3.6-liter V6 engine mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission standard that sends power to the front wheels by default or all 4 wheels if you choose the available all-wheel drive system. That makes us a little bit different than what we see from the German competition or, of course, the new mid-size Lincoln Aviator, which do start out as rear-wheel drive vehicles generally, but this is going to put this in direct competition with entries like the Volvo XC90 and, of course, the Acura MDX. In kind of an unexpected move, the interior is a little bit more reminiscent of the XT5 than the new XT4. So the overall style lines are very similar to the ATS, the CTS, CT6, etc. We have 2 different trim levels, basically. We have a sport trim, which is what we're looking at right here with carbon fiber on the dash, carbon fiber on the steering wheel, and then we have a luxury-oriented trim with the more traditional wood that you'd expect in a Cadillac. Stitched dashboard up top, a lot of suede accents. This interior definitely feels premium. I actually think that this model right here definitely looks more premium than what we find in the Acura MDX. Now that's not too unexpected because this is probably going to be more expensive than that Acura as well. We get the latest version of Cadillac's Q infotainment software with their control knob now here in the center console. The cargo area is of course a little bit smaller than the larger Escalade, but the difference is not as large as you might think. And that's because crossovers like this are overall more space efficient than bigger traditional SUVs like the Escalade. We have a shorter hood, and that results actually in a bigger interior space for the overall exterior volume. We have a little bit of extra storage space right here under the cargo area load floor, but overall storage space is going to be very similar to what we see in something like the Acura MDX. If you want to get your hands on one of these new XT6 models, you'll be able to do that starting in spring of 2019. We don't know how much this will cost, but judging by recent Cadillac models, expect this to be a little bit more expensive than something like the Acura MDX. It's probably going to be priced right alongside entries like the Audi Q7, perhaps the Volvo XC90. And it's right about the same size as those 2 models and, of course, the Acura MDX. We will, of course, have a complete review just as soon as we can get our hands on one of these, either for a quick drive at a launch event or when we can get our hands on one for a complete week. So be sure and stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button down there if you haven't already done so.